Hey, thanks for tuning in for today's hack and play stream. I'm going to be working on Simply Test Me for a bit and also just hanging out to close out the week. It's a holiday week here in the United States and it's been a bit wild, so I want to just take a nice end of the week. So I've been working on Simply Test Me for a while now, and we are getting real close to launching the next version. And Adam went through and did some QA, and I'm going to go through and address that right now. So we're just going to go through this document. So let's see, Drupal 8 was fixed. Drupal core patching works for 7. Drupal core override doesn't work on D9. So it looks like even though we're picking 9.1.9, it still shows it's installing 9.2.5. I think I might know why that's happening. Manual install of D7 fails with new error. This is actually a bug with Drupal 7 where if you go to the homepage in Drupal 7 and there's no database, it doesn't redirect to the installer. It does fix in Drupal 8, but never made it back to D9. So I think actually I made an issue for that. Make sure D7 manual installs have a redirect patch added. I'm going to highlight this here. I'll paste that and let's go find. I know that's attached to the Commerce Kickstart distro. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure that gets always attached to Drupal 7 builds when it's a manual install. So let's issue fork going. Browse the code repository. We don't want 3.x, we want 2.x. And let's see, let's find the make file because this is back in the day in Drupal 7 when we use make files. This says what? This patch will not apply and there shouldn't be any new installs happening, so skip this patch. Well, that's interesting. Let's go to drupal.org. Oh, yep. Visiting index.php should redirect to install as soon as that PH already has database credentials, but database is empty. That's what we need to link here. So this is a related issue. So we want to just have this patch attached to Drupal core whenever you have manual installation. Related patch. So let's link that and find the latest. 11. Hey, it's something that I re-rolled. That's interesting. And this isn't promising that the core patch doesn't apply. So if we do a blame, let me guess. 11. Way to go me. It didn't apply. And I re-rolled it. Great. Well, let's just give it a shot because we have tests that can do this. So let's go copy this issue fork. I'm going to fetch these commands rather. Adds the remote, checks out or fetches it, and then we'll check out the branch that the Drupal.org issue created. And let's go look at the build. So we're going to start by just running our build tests. The config test with Drupal 7 config test. Perform install. We need to find that where it says false. All right, so false. So patching, we expect there to be something here. To do command. Let's go find the example that actually patches. Yield patching. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna copy that and go down to perform install is false. Wait a second. Well, so here's the command. Then we're gonna go and actually this would just be cd into doc root and curl this patch. And do patch P1. So that should be expected when manual install is set. So let's go find the config generator. Preview config generator, and we need this to only be D7. So git patching commands. Oh man. Let's see. I want to figure out the best way to do this. So if D7 get legacy patch command, if project type is core. All right, we're gonna do a little messing around here. So we're going to copy this if perform install is false. I wonder if we should do it here. Which would move the patching into the install, which feels weird. So we'll just place it here. We'll say patch Drupal 7 to automatically redirect to the installer. So commands, this get legacy patch command. The project type is project types core. Project name. Is technically not required here. Why can't I see the changes? Yeah, why isn't it showing my version control? One second. Usually, I need to figure out why it's not showing my version control items in the sidebar. It's here. Weird. All right, so patching commands. The project we can actually leave empty because core doesn't use it. And this is the patch. So if we copy that URL, we paste it here. Let's run the D7 test. Oh, and it all broke. Yeah, because I don't know what I'm thinking. I need this to check. So it shouldn't automatically run. It should only be when perform install is false. So let's rerun that test, and we should only have one. We should have one failure, and that's just what I changed, what I have it to be expected to be set to. So let's go here. Oh yeah, so this is a fix. So let's, the test should pass. Awesome. So the test passed. So we now know that we're injecting the patch. The next step is we actually have a runtime test that will build the sample on simplytest on Tugboat, which is our backend for all the things. So let's go look here. Drupal 7 core, manual install. Here we go. Drupal 7 manual install. But what I want to do is I want to comment out this deletion. So by default, we clean up the preview after the test. I want to not do that so we can manually test this. We don't run these tests in our continuous integration. This is just like a helper that we run locally for testing out these things. So now if I were to go to dashboard.tugboat.qa, go to this environment. Here's our current one that's building. Takes a little bit because our base previews are a bit messed up. I need to get those cleaned up. So base previews are kind of like in Docker when you have a base image. It helps reduce the size of your previews. Hold on. Let's turn on distract, turn off notifications. So wait for this to build, and we'll verify that in the end we don't get a 500 error. I'm hoping the patch does apply. It did. Awesome. I wonder why it didn't apply for Commerce Kickstart. There's probably something else in here that it conflicts with. Who knows? So the test passed because we got a successful build. Now, the actual test is if this redirects to the installer, which it did. Woohoo! So I'm going to go ahead and delete this preview because we don't need it anymore. I'm going to put back this deletion because I don't want to commit that on accident. Let's go ahead and... Why is PHP Storm being such a goober right now? Oh. No, don't click download the install. No, don't do it. It did it. It did it. I'll hit cancel. Why can't it find Git? Cannot identify version of Git. What are you talking about? Enable staging area. What? Well, this is just weird. All right, let's go normal and just use the command line. So get status, do a quick get diff to review. Oh, never mind. I've got PHP Storm back. It woke up. So in source, we can see where if perform install is false, we add the patch. And in our config test, we verify the build. So let's go and that's not the right issue. Let's copy this commit message. Like it's necessary to do that. Use the grammar helper and manual installations will fix that and the issue as well. So let's here commit and push. We'll push that issue fork. All right, so let's open the merge request and here is issue with MR for fix. All right, so that will solve one usability issue if anybody needs to test Drupal 7. Panoply now shows up. Panoply failed on site install 2.x version of 1.x, one that showed up first in list. So let's see what's going on with Panoply. Actually, before Panoply, let's test this whole Drupal core override doesn't work issue that's showing up. Because that's odd. So we're going to go back to the 8.x 4.x branch, do a pull. And let's go look at the build test for Drupal 9. So we have here Drupal core version 9.3.2. Let's find one that has, let's find one that has it different. Okay, Drupal core patches and umami. Oh, that's, wait. Let's see, public policy. 9.3.x dev. We are going to copy this and I'm going to put it into the right location. So we'll call this 9. Core version is respected 9.1.9. So install profile standard, project types Drupal core. Drupal core version is 9.1.9. So is the project version. Instance ID, we expect these versions to be present. Core dev 9.1.9. Let's run the test, and then we'll go ahead and do the instance build again and verify that. So that passed. Let's go run a manual test then. We're going to open the instance manager test. Let's comment that out and find a Drupal 9 build. Test Drupal 9, Drupal version 9.4. Additionals. We'll call this one Drupal 9 core. What is it? So install profile standard, Drupal version 9.1. What do we pick? 9.1.9. This is 9.1.9. Short name should just be Drupal. If I look back, yep, and type is Drupal core. Oh, test Drupal 9 core. I already had that. Let's go copy core. We'll say lower version and replace these up. Let's run this. Let's go run this. Go back to Tugboat and we should see it building. There we go. Okay, so we want to see if we can get this. We need to verify the composer output. We're going to install opcache quick. And we'll verify that it builds correctly. And for this, it should be easy enough just to review the composer output and not have to actually log into the site. I wonder if Drupal 9, actually, here we go. Let's look at this. Password policy C tools. This stuff is not cleaning up like it's supposed to. On dev 9.2.15 or 9.2.5 paragraphs. Okay, so that had a specific requirement. We'll see here. Oh, all right, it's building. So let's scroll up. Hopefully it's not, it's going to keep bringing me down until it finishes. So we'll let it finish building and then see if it respected the 9.1.9. All right, so it's committing it. So here it says creating 9.1.9. That should be. So the other problem it could be, so core dev 9.1.9. So the other problem is that it could be a bug in the user interface, that it's not properly sending the version. So this is ready. Let's go back and view it. Let's preview. I guess even what we could do, which is a little bit easier, is go into the terminal. I say easier because then I don't have to log in. So if I do PHP vendor, cd stm, PHP vendor bin drush status. Oh, that's really interesting. This is weird. All right, let's open the logs again. 9.2.5. Oh, this isn't going to let me search. All right, let's look here. Something is wrong in the build. So let's make an issue so I can properly format all this and track it. Drupal 9 builds are not Drupal 9 core builds are not respecting the core version. Let's go. This is a bug report. Code. When running a configuration like the following, we'll copy this as is, right? I did. When running this configuration, we should expect Drupal core to report version 9.19. Instead, we're getting, what is it? 9.2.5, which is the current stable release, which is the current Drupal core release. What's odd is that the build does not show 9.2.5 being required. So let's go to that build log, and we've got composer create project 9.1.9. And we have, and 1.5. So if we go here, so created the project, create project, no install. So we did it with no install, no update, no update, no update. So that way we can just do it all at once. Then we run composer update. And maybe that's why. Yep, that's why. The problem then appears to be this command, which installs the dependencies after we use multiple no update. So there it is. I think this is actually my fault. So as we can see, the Drupal core dev was locked to the expected version, but Drupal core and scaffolding was upgraded. All right, I think this is my fault. Earlier, I tried to clean up our build. And if we go to preview config generator and let's do an annotate, get download commands. Let's see, 9.1. Drupal core dev attempts to download. So I did this here and I wonder if this broke it, where if it's not core, we run the require. And we actually need to just do that all the time, I think. So if we go to get download commands, which here we are, 9. And so let's change this I wonder if this project needs to get updated or not, because if it passes in core, or we pass in Drupal, we need to switch it to be Drupal core. What's weird is it's not showing it here, or actually it is. All right, so let's go run this again. Let's run this again and make sure that it's all broken because we're not requiring Drupal core. Thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it. All right. So set Drupal core with patches in Umami. We should see the error here that we're not requiring the correct version. So let's go update that. Drupal core with patches and Umami. That would be before the composer update. We run composer update somewhere. No. Composer require. So it'd be here. Thanks. I've found this to be a fun way to keep doing my contributions while having a little bit of fun and hopefully sharing some knowledge on how I do things. And, you know, instead of just being like toiling away in my side time of working on this, it's like a way to say, this is how I do things. Maybe people learn a few tricks, and it kind of guarantees that I keep having fun working on projects like this. So here, these are going to fail more because I did not update the correct versions, but I just want to at least run it and then fix it, because the diff should just show not the missing line, but just the version is incorrect. So here should say 9.1.9 for this. Oh, I know what I need to do too. I need to, let's see. I was going to take a screenshot of that build, but I don't think it matters because I see the composer log. So we'll delete that instance and Curious why that failed. Oh. Okay, this is the Panoply 8 build that failed. I'll look at that in a minute. Rerun this so I get my concentration back. Oh yeah, so this needs to be 9.3.x. Oh, actually, it's broke. Oh, I think that's why I removed it, because it got weird here when doing a dev release. So see, instead of it being 9.3.x, it's actually doing just /dev. So let's go and fix that. And I can remove this to do because that seems to be handled somewhere. Somewhere up the stack, it's handled. So I'm just going to remove that. Close the annotations. So get composer compatible string. All right. Okay, so split, string position, version, needle, the offset of the split, +1. Why is this different than any other? Oh, shoot. I know why. So what this does is this should be documented. Splits legacy converts Drupal version strings to Semver compatible ones for composer. The version, the compatible version. Yeah. So this needs to legacy 8.x 1.3 becomes 1.3. Same as 8.x 1.x dev becomes 1.x dev. So get composer compatible. So I guess what needs to actually happen is Semver parse. We need to find some way to check if it's actually semantically versioned or not yet. And doing a needle check on a dash does not work. Previously, using anything in core has not been viable, but let's see if there's anything in the update module that can help. Project core compatibility, version parser, parse stability. Version parser is in core. So let's see. Normalize stability, normalize. Parse constraints. Let's look at anything. Oh, wow. Show includes, show protected, show private. I just want to see if everything's public. Parse stability. We don't really need that. Normalize the stability. Normalize to be able to perform conversions on it. Throw an exception. Invalid version string. That could be one part of it, but let's see here. Get possible core update versions. Well, core is semantically versioned. We can't do that. Get possible core update versions. Get projects. Let's see. We want private and protected again. Get possible. Oh, well, let's not look at project core compatibility. Module version. Here we go. Deprecated. Use extension version instead. Let's see if we can get this. The 8.x prefix is used on contrib extension versions, but not anymore. So maybe we can copy. Excuse me. Ooh. Maybe we can do this. Create from version string. What do we get here? So we get major version, minor version, version extra. Create from support branch. Always return null for branches. Create from version string. We get major, minor, version extra, which this actually doesn't support patch release. I just realized this doesn't support patch releases in modules. So maybe we need to check. Oh, shoot. I wonder if we need to use like a regular expression to match instead of that, so we could check if it has, let's see, sorry, so we can see if it has the legacy core prefix. That's it. So let's take, we got 7.x 1.2, say it's beta 2. Let's just start, let's pump through a handful of things. 8.x 2.1.0. I don't think somebody would have a beta on it, but let's say they do. Then we got 9.3.2 dev. That's the core release. We don't want core to be accessed. So what would this be? It would be start line is the upper arrow. Yeah. So start line is any number, which is any digit \d. Or actually, it would be 7 or 8. X. I don't think we need it. Maybe I don't need to even wrap it in this. So we would expect it to be, it's 7.x. This is what we'd want to capture. So it'd be 1.2. So we want any digit, the period, the digit. I'm horrible at regular expressions, by the way, so I'm completely winging it here. Maybe we just need to. Maybe we just need to do this part, and if this matches, then we split. So let's try that. Let's go check if, comment. Check if the version is a contrib extension using the legacy core prefix versioning. So if preg match, let's take this here. I'm used to JavaScript where you don't quote the regular expression. So that's the pattern. This is the subject is the version. We don't care about the match. We just care that returns 1 if the pattern matches. So if it's equal to 1, so if it's equal to 1, find where the first dash is and then split it. Although I'm pretty sure that would be the same if we did a match and just captured, if we did that. So maybe, let's try this. Legacy matches equals an empty array. Let's run preg match. Let's put the end of line terminator on it. I don't know if that's the right wording. Legacy matches. Okay, so we got the preg match. So if result is equal to 1, because 1 is a match, we'll say extra hardening and count legacy matches equal to 2, because if for some reason there's like multiple matches, we know something weird happened, I want to return the raw result so we get an error and it's better to debug. So we'll return legacy matches 1. Also, we return the version. I think that makes sense. So if we look through this, we're going to return the first the second array item, which will be the version here. We're ignoring the major and minor versions. And this is only composer, so we don't have to worry about like Drupal 7. So let's go ahead and run the D9 config test. All right, where did this fail? So this added the -dev. Now I think that's okay. Let's go to packages, Drupal/core, and we'll find out before we do a run. Drupal core 9.3.x-dev. I like it. 9.3.x. Dev. So it's weird that I had it working. It's okay here. What did I do? Oh, because it picks the Drupal core version here. That's it. So it's the Drupal core version gets set correctly. But then when we're parsing the actual project version, that's when it's doing the manipulation, and that's when we lost the dev version, or the correct parsing of it. And that's just because in project versions we're dancing between contrib extensions and core, which previously contrib extensions had a core prefix and didn't use semantic versioning. So let's run the test again. We should be green. Awesome. Now before I run, actually, so I saw that commented out. Let's do the new test. We're gonna run this test again, but while that builds, I'm going to test Drupal 8 and Drupal 7 to make sure we had no regressions there. I wish there was a much easier way to do all this, but I think considering that it's like a 12-factor app, it integrates with an external service, we're testing it as best as we can. So let's run this test. Okay, what happened here? Why is this? Oh, I know why. I fixed a bug for Drupal 7 installs, but I forgot to update the test because we can't run the test on Drupal.org. Drupal.org has never supported distribution tests, so that's just sometimes we can do it, sometimes we can't. And I am getting spammed by this stupid Haas person. So sorry about that for the notification spam on the screen. Shoot, so I stopped paying attention here. So required Drupal core, no update, composer update. Let's see here, downloading. See if we can catch the locking, installing. Drupal core recommended 9.1.9. So it looks like this will be okay. So we'll wait for it to finish. Wait for that to finish. And let's run the Drupal 8 config test. That passed. Beautiful. So it's committing. Then we'll use the command line again to just verify the status. See, did I link this? No, here it's issue and fix. Put that there. Oh, I didn't make the issue fork. Where's the issue fork? Okay, I just did it on the head branch. Let's click create issue fork. Let's open the terminal. Multitasking for the win. CD STM. That's right. PHP vendor bin drush status. We should see 9.19. Boom. Awesome. Let's take a screenshot of that. First, we'll add the remote and fetch it. Check out the branch. Let's review our diff. Instance manager test. Yep, we want that in there. We don't want that. This adds a test that 9.19 is added as we expect. And also updates those tests. The fix for the D7 hash. And fixes our composer compatible version. That should be converts. Let's go make sure. All right. That looks good to me. So let's copy the commit message. Again, isn't really necessary because when it's merged via the issue, when you're a maintainer, it sets that as, it does a squash and sets that as the commit message for the merge. So let's commit and push anyways, push it. This should be all fixed up. No. Exclamation point, because we're excited. Let me copy a screenshot here. Upload it. Right, I picked the right one. Yep. Click embed and save. So there we go. That I forgot to mark it as, yeah, I did mark it as needs review. So that takes care of these two bugs, which is awesome. Let's see. I think I can ignore this part, this stuff up here. Panoply failed on site install, 2.x version of 8.x when that shows up first in list. So that's what I found. Let's delete this. Delete. And that's this build here. So if we go to Drupal.org project Panoply, let's try to do some investigation. Cleaning. So this is the Drupal 8 build, which would have grabbed, what did it grab? Panoply 2.0 Alpha 15, which was released in 2019. And I bet it works if we pick dev. Disclaimer, I'm helping port part of Panoply, so that's how I know. So if we go to beta.simplytest.me, let's do Panoply. Let's choose the dev branch and launch the sandbox. And leave a comment. I don't think this is actually an us issue. It might be the alpha. It's from 2 years ago. Trying on dev. So this is running. And maybe if I get through these bugs, I can work on some quality of life issues too. Like, I would love to get this text box replaced to something that actually auto scrolls instead of this. Like, there's an I term. Not I term. Z term? The terminal thing that's here that Tugboat uses, I want to get integrated into simplytest me, or into simplytest for scrolling the logs instead of this. Or rather, this over here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Thanks for tuning in. Oh wait, what did this do? It reset 8.9.8. Oh no, this is gonna fail miserably because it's trying to install compose. Wait, shoot. Stage download. Optimizations. Where did it even require Panoply? Upgrading. Panoply 2.x dev. But 2.x dev requires, oh, we got a bug here. 2.x dev for Panoply requires Drupal 9 updates. Let's try to look at this XML file. All right, so this definitely failed. Unmet configuration. Well, that's unmet dependencies. Path auto. So it did not install path auto. That's just pleasant. All right, supported branches 8.2.x. Let's look at 2.x dev. I think that's going to be at the bottom. 14. Okay, so 8.x, 2.x dev. File. Oh, interesting. Really interesting. Hold 1 second. Supported branches, project distribution. All right. So when I say this is interesting, let's look at the path auto module, for instance. So if we look at this current, this is what supports semantic versioning 8 and 9. If we look somewhere in here, oh, core compatibility. Shoot. I need to open a plain text. Distribution profile support. I need to open a scratch pad on here to try to get my thoughts together. So inside of path auto, whenever there's a contrib extension, contrib extensions have the following. However, profiles do not seem to have this. So we have security covered terms. And let's go here. So if we collapse files, we have security. Profiles do not seem to have this key. And if we look at the inside projects source, release history processor. So if core compatibility is legacy is set data API version, that's not even in here. Else if short name. Some projects are missing this due to like random issues, but we default to 8.x because that's the safest bet, which causes us to fall back as 8.x. Shoot. That's a problem. So look at 8.x, 2.x. If we look at the info.yaml, it has a core version requirement. This has a core version requirement, but it is not bubbled into the release channel. Release history channel. Let's all right, so we cannot do distributions properly because we don't know what branches they support. So if we go back to the main site, and let's type in Panoply. So we can see here we have it. Yep. So it defaults to 8.x. So we don't see any Drupal 9 versions. This we assume 7.x because it was in the release stream, which this is sorted wrong. That's a quality of life thing I'd like to fix. So we need to find out what is the compatibility for distribution, and that's not possible. If we even go to open, is it open social with an underscore? No. Just do open social. Well, what in the world? Drupal open social. Ignore that for now. Composer.json. What is this project called? Where's the require Drupal / open social? Oh, is it just called social? So it is. And it's not rendering, probably because there's so much data. But if we look here again, release link, files, variant. What? Distributions maintained. Supported branches. 10. Oh, this is freezing up Brave. Just trying to load it, so we're gonna skip that. So let's see. Variant profile only. Profile only. All right, so let's make a new issue. Create a new issue. Distributions and profiles cannot be profile core requirements cannot be determined. There we go. That's a better way to put it. So we cannot understand their core requirements, which breaks them. Um, distributions and profiles are broken. This is due to the fact the release channel does not bubble up any of the core requirement data into the release XML like themes and modules. See here, path auto releases have the following. Panoply does not. Panoply has the core compatibility in its info.yaml, though we have the following code which falls back to 8.x. I mean, maybe we should fall back to 9 here. That falls back. We should fall back to 8.x. What is this example? For some reason, this didn't have one. A quick fix would be to instead assume 9.x as the core compatibility, since 8.x is EUL shortly. Yeah, why did this get... Something happened weird with that bug. Oh, because it had an error in its .info.yaml, so it got parsed wrong into the release channel itself. We should open a ticket with infra to see if this can be added. All right, so I'm going to file this report and see what we can do. Opened an issue. It's broken, but not due to us entirely. It's kind of us because we make an assumption. Not test 7.x for branch. Okay, I went through round 3. So let's just finish round 4. Now, what I'm going to try to do is see if I can figure out how to open an issue for the Drupal.org stuff for this. I have no idea how you... I honestly don't know how you open an issue for Drupal.org for bugs. There's a way to, but I can never find it for the Drupal.org customizations or for projects. So we're going to see if I can figure that out. Contributor guide, groups, meetups, no. Documentation. About, no. It's under, not, this is a list for all the projects. Not events. Resources, no. Community, no. Why Drupal? All right, let's figure out, see if I can get this. Nope. There's a webmaster issue queue somewhere. Community, contributor guide, code of conduct, Drupal guide, Drupal docs. Find it there. Understanding Drupal. So I know, like at past DrupalCons, we've talked about usability of Drupal.org and finding things. This is like the hardest part for me, is I have no idea how to open an issue for the actual website itself. And I know it's somewhere. Issues. No. Well, I know it's underneath the project. So I'm just gonna start here looking for it, and I've lost my original issue I wanted, so I can link it. All right, so let's look at project. Projects are generally consumed by this module, past maintainers. Let's browse the code repository. What's the URL again? So it's release history, updates.drupal.org. So if you like, all the things that handle packaging on Drupal.org are actually Drupal modules, because Drupal.org is a Drupal site. I don't know if this handles the release history though. Project, let's see. Menu. Project load, hook menu, node. Admin, project add. Okay, this is just for the projects. Let's see. Version control API. Let's see. Project issue adds the issue tracking. That's how we get issue tracking. Version control project. I don't think this is it. And it's not getting closer to version control release. Maybe this is actually node. No, project issue, version control release. What does this depend on? Project release. Well, let's go there. Let's go to the project release module, and it could be underneath Drupal.org customizations. Well, that's, what is this? A get.drupal.org. Is it a submodule of project? Oh, thank you. Yes, the Drupal.org project infrastructure is exactly what I want. I think, at least. So this project, issue queue for everything related to Drupal.org servers and the various installations on the Drupal.org domain. Let's check there. Version mapper. Like, honestly, no, I'm so confused. Like, I want to know what builds it, because it's in here somewhere. And there's the project releases module. Like, I don't even know where that is. Yeah, I can start it. Yeah, I'm just going to start it here. Add new issue. Distributions, profiles do not have their core compatibility reported in update channel XML. Working on simplytest and realized we cannot infer the core compatibility of distributions reported here. And let's update that. Let's relate them so that way it can be found more easily. Steps to reproduce. View the Panoply release channel, release XML, whatever, say that. Look at 8.x, 2.x dev. Expect to see core compatibility that matches info.yaml. See none. Right, that's the steps. Push the core compatibility into the release data, like themes and modules. Profiles have core compatibility. That should also exist in the updates XML. Because if we do look at project composer, I bet it's in the composer data. So this is the module that creates the packages.drupal.org. Composer package. Core version requirement if component info. So yeah, it's probably always added. Like if we type distribution, add in distribution support. Oh, that's right. Distributions aren't support. Well, they are. Oh, that's right. Distributions have a weird support. They have it. Yeah. Okay. So it has some logic in here where it says project distribution, so composer mappings. So it sets the composer installer lookup in the type. All right. So it has this here where the type is correct. If dev, so if it's a dev release, packages, extra, where does it auto update the requires? Project release metadata. So authors, the source, type, UID, package name. Version gets all the components and submodules for this release. Build the metadata. If we not set the requirement for Drupal core, add it. Drupal core version string. So yeah, so this creates it. Where does the Drupal core version string get populated? Drupal core version string, get core version string from release category. Seven or eight. That doesn't seem right at all. Jeez. All right, this is above what I know. This is all in the infra team's wheelhouse. So I'm just going to create the issue and let people who know more than me figure it out. Packaging, I guess. This would be for, yeah. Picked packaging as it seems most appropriate. All right. I'm going to update this doc right here. I want to know if there's a way we can still infer it. But I guess anything would be like a super hacky workaround. Like if it's a profile, try to read the info.yaml. So let's just not try to do that. So yeah, it's in there. And composer.json is, can never find it. So yeah, it has a Drupal core requirement. It has ctools and path auto. I'm just surprised that it was allowed to install everything without breaking, but I know distributions are kind of broken on Drupal.org right now. So go Gorilla. If we look at Open Social, is this the template? No. Let's look at the social template. If we look at the composer.json, require goal. Yeah, they have it actually registered on Packagist. So I think if we were to go to Packagist, search for Goal Gorilla, it's configured as a Drupal profile. So there's a bigger issue here. I forgot distros and composer are also a larger discussion and do not have full support via the composer facade. That's why Open Social has a Packagist entry. And that's even why we have it here. We have it like added. That's also why our own website repo has a repo addition to Drupal.org. It also explains why the build also fails config validation. Yeah, I don't shoot. Maybe they can't be supported after all, and I'll have to remove it. We may have to remove distros and manually register them as one-click demos. What is it? Gold Gorilla, social template. See the following. Open social composer template. Monopoly template, which is GitLab. It's all on GitLab. Monopoly composer template. Commerce existing one-click demo. I think that's it. Demo commerce? Nope. Demo project. There we go. Even though it's not a profile, but example. So that might be something we have to do. So Open Social Panoply. Save. I'm going to make a note. Edit. I forgot that distros and profiles have issues within the composer side anyways. So maybe this is moot. That it updates. Okay, so maybe, man, I was so excited. I thought we could support, what do you want to call it? Distributions, but maybe not. And that's, I'll have to talk to Adam about that. Or maybe just have to turn that off. All right. well, that means, so I went through all of this, or sorry, that's not the issue I want. I went through the docs and it looks like everything is all set. Um, I mean, that's not true. A few things are kind of quirky, like the fact that the um, those projects were lingering when they shouldn't be. So let's see if I can. Let's go to UI Lagoon. I want to go to Lagoon, which is our hosting provided by Amazy.io. So thanks, Amazy, for helping us out with hosting for simplytest. And if I look at Lagoon, we should be running cron every 15 minutes. Of course, I cannot remember how to access the logs. I'm going to run cron. Sorry. Let's see if I can get some output. As we should be purging. If we do tugboat.module. Cron service. So lifetime. So if lifetime stamp, request time minus this there, we should be purging any previews that are older, but this might just be bad. The code just might be out of date or not working as we would expect. Although it should be. We just got that one log. So let's see if I can. Let's go to Lagoon. Lagoon SSH. Let me guess, it's going to tell me I need to give project. So we'll do -p, not contrib combine, simply test. And the environment is prod. And let's see what's going on with this cleanup. That's not happening. Veridoc launch. Let's see. What is Veridoc? Let's see. Image. Drupal.org. Project Veridoc. All right. And I'm in here. So let's do. Veridoc is a distribution, correct? Distributions have various problems, especially on D8, D9. They're not supported by Composer. See here, see that issue. The new version may have them restricted and will need to be contributed as a one-click demo, possibly to be determined. I don't know. We'll leave it there. It's kind of more like a question and needs feedback. But let's do a PHP vendor bin drush wd show. Tugboat cron took 42 milliseconds. Let's do dashboard.tugboat. Did it clean up old projects? Wait, built 33 minutes ago. Oh man, did I forget to clean out that test? Oh, we'll delete. No, I manually did some of these. That's right. 2 weeks ago. Well, this is not cleaning up like it's supposed to. So I guess one thing I could do is see. I got Docker. Let's get. All right, ddev start. And we need to get that tugboat thing working so it cleans up old previews. Yeah, because that's built 1 month ago. And I don't think I don't think we can make a setting that does it automatically. All right, so let's do ddev xdebug. We're going to turn on xdebug. And actually, I'm going to turn it off really quick so I can import my configuration. So let's do ddev config ddev drush cim for config import. I'm going to drop a breakpoint here. All right, so we're going to import our config. Apparently there's not much that needs to be imported. Which doesn't seem entirely right. Because I don't remember the last time I did an install. Let's look at Tugboat. Tugboat settings. Sandbox lifetime 7200, which is by 60 is 2 hours. All right. So now we're going to do ddev xdebug. Let's turn it back on. Let's do ddev drush cron. We're going to run cron. Got my xdebug in place so that way I can do a breakpoint. And we're going to see why some of these things aren't cleaning up. The scope is yes. String to time created at. All right. So config request time. Lifetime span. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. 7200. So we're running the state, we're going to set the timestamp. Delete older than timestamp is here. That looks right. The repo ID. Existing previews. Oh, we get an exception. Resulted in a 404 not found. All right, so what we need to do is let's stop. Go to api.tugboat.qa. Should redirect to the docs since we are accessing it without a content type of JSON. And let's see what's going on. So existing previews. So one is, let's go to the Tugboat project, which we maintain. Let's go here. And we're going to say, don't set the hold on. Let's just say, up the example to Drupal 8. I don't care about that. Do not set the tugboat.cron timestamp in state unless successful. This is a bug. 8.x1.x code. If deleting previews fails, the timestamp is set and does not try to reprocess if cron runs before the time limit. So let's decode. If fetching previews fails, then the timestamp is set and it will not run again. So that's a bug. And that means it's also going to make testing this kind of a pain. So what we can do is, I think we can do ddev drush state : delete to delete that entry from the state table. Yes, that worked. Let's create the issue fork. Probably silly to make this branch, but especially if it needs to be, fixed over here, or we need to fix this API call, but oh well. Source cron. Let's open it in the web IDE. We're going to cut that and paste it here. This should be no lines commit. Only set timestamp if previews could be fetched. I'm going to uncheck the start new merge request. Actually, I'm going to make a screenshot and should see if we can get that hidden on Drupal.org, so that way it forces people to go back and click this open merge request. We've got a weird workflow, but that would be one thing. Actually, I don't know if it's bad that that button gets created or not, or is used. But we've got a merge request for that. Let's see what's going on. Why repo ID previews is throwing a 404. So let's go repos, repositories, create a repository, get, update, get repository previews. Because it's a typo, because it's repos /ID /previews. And know who's to blame for that? That's this guy back in January. So this has been broken for a long, long time. To be fair, though, it's not in production. It's been January is when I started working on a new version of simplytest me. But way to go, me, for having it be broken. All right, so we've got here, boom, boom, boom. We're going to step over existing previews. We got them. Return data. We've got 48 previews. Let's see, something's got to get deleted. We're going through a whole bunch of the newer ones. So where's the sandbox? Sandbox. State suspended. Created at. Okay, why? Delete older than timestamp. Hold the phone. This says that it was created in July 3rd, 2020. Oh, wait, but this is an anchor, right? Yep, anchor's true. Never mind. Anchor is false. And it was created on August 3rd. There we go. Okay, so that's working. We got the sandbox ID. Let's try to delete. Yes. Looks like we're going. Hit play. And if we go to delete count, 36. Sweet. And if we refresh the dashboard, 43 minutes ago, 39, 39, 36. Awesome. So let's make a new issue, or let's make that one be needs review. Save. Let's here create a new issue here as well. So that's this. I'm gonna make a new simply test me. Previews are not cleaning up after 2 hours. Bug report. There's a bug in the tugboat module that is preventing previews, sandboxes from being purged and cleaned up. We need these issues committed and a new release tagged and the minimum version bumped here. So there's one issue, and the other one is fix incorrect API path for fetching project previews. Bug component code. We have a typo in our cron job for cleaning up previews. Per this link, it should be repos. Oh, what key did I hit? But we have just code repo. This is causing a 4.4 exception on the API and not cleaning anything up. Let's save it. Use the GitLab IDE to make the fix. There. Opening GitLab. Do the web IDE. And for kicks, I'm not going to uncheck that create merge request button and see if it's fine. So cron, the change is repo to repos. Not, there we go. Just to be safe, I'm copying the whole string. Repo to repos. Commit, start a new merge request. Oh, I don't like that. Cancel. Okay, I think that checkbox definitely needs to get hidden because like it's weird. Open merge request. Set it to needs review. Let's link it here and save. So that fixes one problem. Let's see what else I could do real quick before I get ready to sign off and enjoy my Friday evening. Let's see. Main text is not full text. Main project search is not full text search. This could be fairly simple. Maybe. Let's do I'm going to turn off bdef xdebug off. And let's go see where this be. Guessing modules, projects, controller. Somewhere in here. autocomplete projects, matches, search for project, condition. It says like, but it doesn't seem to actually be a like. Well, that's interesting. Fetch all. Let's go simply test ddev. Go to the local. Permit own permissions. That's not what I wanted. Because there's password policy pwned. But that didn't come up with anything. So that doesn't seem like it's actually a like. Title or short name. Maybe we had the conditions wrong here. No, that should be correct. Escape like. Oh. Hold on. I don't know how to type. Let's see. Annotate. Maybe it's not just me. It was before. We had, so when you do like, you need to put the percentage signs before and after in order to do a match. So it was only doing a match afterwards. Right? I think, or it was like, it was a starts with. This makes it a contain. So if we do pwned, we're now fixed. Let's create an issue fork. And I like this because I can do it without, I can fix this in GitLab real easy without having to clone down the issue branch. So let's open the web IDE. And this is in modules, projects, source. Modules, projects, source, controller. No. Yes, the simply test project fetcher. Run line 268. Let's just go ahead and copy these. Commit, show the difference. Add missing percentage for contains like condition. Commit, go back here, refresh, pop open the merge request. Mark as needs review. The like condition was missing the leading percentage, so it was only a starts with. Query. Save it. That's a nice little win. Let's see what else there is. Problems parsing beta versions. Oh. Beta 1. Trying to launch a sandbox. What's beta 1? Oh, interesting. Interesting. And of course, I just purged everything. So that's... I think we'll need to run some tests against contrib extension with semantic versioning and extras. Let's go to version parser. What is it? Normalize stability. No. Normalize parse stability. We will probably need to use stability. which will drop the 1, 2, 3, etc., and replace it with. Oh, that actually wouldn't work. Actually, that wouldn't exactly work because it loses the beta 1. Hmm. Invalid version string. Oh, wait. I think you hit the bug. I think you hit the bug listed in, or hit a, let's see. I believe you have hit a bug that I found in Drupal core builds. The Drupal core builds issue. It has to do with parsing versions and handling legacy core prefixes. However, that command, that logic broke semantic versioning, which had -dev or -stability flags. Oh, I didn't even open the merge request. Let's look at it. Compare. Before it was a dumb split. So this caused you to require Drupal bricks beta 1. The new code will fix that. Let's keep it open and retest once that is merged and deployed. Thanks for helping test the beta, which is nice that we have people trying to test out the beta because it helps cover out some of these problems. Parsing semantic beta versions. Yeah, we'll say semantic. We'll add semantic to it because that's actually the problem at hand. Is it's beta, but when it's semantic, um, yeah. All right, my brain's fried out. I think that was pretty good. I'm gonna compile my quick list, plain text of things I need to show to Adam for getting hopefully merged up, which are these. We've got manual D7 version fixes. We've got the Drupal core override fixes, which also fixes contrib versions with beta. I'm going to link that in really quick. This will also fix contrib projects using semantic versioning with stability flags. See here. See that issue. So let's save it. So that T1, I have that copied in. This is a nice little win for usability and searching. And referenced issues and a release. I think that's a pretty good smash of things. It's a real big bummer about distros, but it's not the end of the world because we have a workaround. If you're not familiar what I meant when I said one-click demos, we have the buttons here. So if you click this, it's like a pre-configured build. Inside their plugins, it's like one-click demo base. That's not what I want. Like Umami just says run composer update, and the install command does it automatically installs Drupal with the Umami demo. For commerce, it does the demo project and installs as normal. So we would just need to add something similar to that for Open Social and Panoply, basically. So cool. Well, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to sign off and go enjoy my Friday, which I hope you enjoy your Friday and have a good weekend. Thanks for hanging out.